All right, welcome back, y'all. My name is Ricky Taylor. It's the Build It All podcast. Y'all know what the platform is for. Building it all. That's mental, physical, health, financial. However we can build, we do that. And how we do that is by sharing best practices. So every week we're coming to you on Thursday with somebody new to help us on our journey. Today, I got my boy with me, Mr. Azim.
What's up?
Mr. Faded by Azim. Cause what's the slogan?
If it ain't faded by Azim, it ain't faded.
Okay, all right. So he's gonna share some stuff with us today. I'm excited to kind of dig in. I've known him for about a year or so, right?
Yeah.
The crazy part is, you know how you have those barbershop like conversations and everything like that, but it usually doesn't go past that.
Yeah.
But we've actually developed a bond, and I'm just excited to have him here so he can share some of his best practices. But I don't want to steal your thunder, man. Tell people about yourself.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm Faded by Azim, better known as Azim. You know what I'm saying? I'm a barber out here in the 757. Been cutting hair for about a year and a half. Been knowing you, I started cutting you about half a year into my journey.
Yeah. You said I was your first beard.
You was my first beard. This guy was my first beard.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just all about elevation in life. Not just in one aspect, but in all aspects of life.
Okay. All right, cool. So the elevation, man, we could jump right into it.
Let's do it.
That elevation, because you talk about that consistently.
Yeah, I live
right?
by it.
Consistently. What does that mean to you?
Everything. You want to elevate, or I personally like to elevate in every aspect of my life. When I wake up in the morning, I want to be a better husband. I want to elevate better with that every day. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better me today than I was yesterday. And every day we wake up is a new 24 hours to try to be better than we were the day prior.
I love that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing, because I always talk about 1% every day, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like that thing, you build it one brick at a time, right?
I have to.
Absolutely. How long have you had that mindset?
I want to say during this barbering journey, honestly.
Okay.
I lost my passion for it when, the beginning. I didn't have the clientele, but I knew I was a raw barber. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching other people cut all the time, and it kind of discouraged me.
Okay.
But instead of me letting the devil win and me falling short, and giving up, I decided let me pick elevation.
Okay.
Let me elevate my mindset. Once I elevated my mindset, then it helped me elevate my skills.
Okay.
Elevate my moods, elevate everything.
Right. When you talked about that being discouraged, where did that come from? Like, as far as when you said, watching other people and stuff like that, where did that come from?
Self.
Okay.
I'm extremely tough on myself, always have been. So it's like, for me to already be so tough and so like not down on myself, but always pointing out my flaws and things, and then to see other people succeed in where I wanted to succeed, you know what I'm saying? It kind of had discouraged me. It brought me down. Being in here cleaning my clippers after they were already clean.
Right.
Sweeping up after it's no more hair on the floor. You know
right.
what I'm saying? It just I was in a bad place.
Right.
But I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know about the journey. I didn't trust the process at the time.
Okay. What was it that made you have that epiphany? Like, that made you say, this ain't it. Like, I'm getting discouraged, but this ain't me. Like, what was it that caused that for you?
I've always had this mindset, failure's not an option.
Okay.
I refuse to fail. And like I told you before, never settle for what's expected.
Mm.
Meaning, if I know, okay, I'm in this situation right now, I can fold and be okay with it and be content, or I can elevate my mind and elevate my situation.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like kind of like a switch, like a smack to the face, like, yo, you know who you are, bro?
Right. Okay.
We don't give up. It's not in my blood. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So, because another thing I know about you speaking about that, because that sounded kind of cocky, but just to let y'all know, this dude is not cocky, man. He's confident, but he's not cocky. He's one of the most humble dudes I know. I remember when I came in about a year ago, and you said, look, I know you just got here, but I haven't been doing this that long, but I'm not going to mess you up. I'm going to let you know that I'm not going to mess you up, right?
And it's the worst cut you're going to get from me. It's going to continuously get better every single time.
Absolutely. He held true to his word.
Yeah.
So that's what caused me to continue to rock with you. It wasn't even necessarily, because, barber, like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You pick a barber, like, you don't just be jumping from chair to chair. That's not a thing, right?
Yeah.
So what drew me to come back was you. And that just as a person and wanting to elevate, you know, I like being around good energy, positive energy, and then on top of that, you know, me and you had conversations where you felt like I was providing you with some guidance. And here's the thing, the crazy thing about that in regards to energy, man, when you did that, so I'm giving you something, right? When I was giving you that, but then when you were saying, hey man, I need that from you, it was giving something to me too. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing that I found over the course of time is that positive energy brings back positive energy.
It's toxic.
Absolutely. Yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah. Good toxic.
Right, absolutely. So I know something about you, and I don't know if it's okay to share or not, but you're not like an old guy.
Yeah.
Right? How old are you?
24, man. 24.
24.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
It's crazy because of the fact that if somebody had a conversation with you, they probably wouldn't think that, man. What has caused you to, because you got, it's like cliche, but you're kind of wise beyond your years. Yeah. From what I've seen, you know. What would you say that, first of all, do you believe that? And then second of all, if you do believe that, what has caused that for you?
Yeah, first off, I definitely believe it because I've been told that my whole life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was raised by my mom, you know, and a lot of OGs in the city. A lot of OGs. And
what city is that?
Southeast DC.
Okay.
Yeah. DC, Virginia, the whole DMV, honestly, I done moved around.
Okay.
You know, but I was always around positive people that kept me out of the streets, and they always would sit me down and pour out into me. Okay. And I've always been a sponge, you know. I want to take everything that I can. Right. You know what I'm saying? And just for having that mindset, it's just always been a thing, man.
Absolutely.
And life has definitely humbled me.
Okay.
You know, joining the military, I had battled depression. My ex-wife had took my son from me, a whole lot of stuff. And I was in a very, very bad place. But I made sure that I was there for other people. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that put me in a bigger hole because I had nobody to kind of like be like, yo, are you okay? Right. You know, so I kind of just built everything around that and just had to, same way you point one finger, you got four pointing back at you. I had to put myself first and really just think about this stuff. How about take that advice that I give to other people? Right. And once I started being slower to speak and quicker to listen, it allowed me to really just elevate my mind, you know. Okay. Absolutely. Life will humble you.
Indeed, it will. Yeah. It will. But this is the thing that somebody said to me a long time ago. If something bad happens, right, or if you make a mistake, it's not a mistake if you learn from it. Facts. It's a lesson. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you fail, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. You know, because that's how you learn how to get better.
Exactly.
You know.
I want to be here today.
That's right. Absolutely. So you said that you were in the military before. So are you currently in the military now?
Nah, I got out January 26th. Civilian life, man. Okay. Civilian life.
What caused you to make that transition?
August 29th, 2020.
Okay.
You know, I'm young, but I've always been in leadership positions. Mm-hmm. So I got here to Fort Eustis, and I had a soldier that was in his 40s. And I had to tell him to go take a shower. I had to go to his room and supervise him cleaning it. Right. And that just took my passion. I didn't join the military to be a father to a man that's old enough to be my dad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And right then and there, I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I prayed, and literally right after I finished praying, my physical therapist was like, hey, man, we're going to have to medically retire you. Okay. That right after that, I posted on Facebook like, hey, I'm doing 3 haircuts for $5. If you're in Virginia, I'm going to drive to you. Okay. So you were already cutting hair while you were in the... No? Nah, I was just cutting mine. I've been cutting my own hair since I was like 13. Okay. So what was it that gave you that itch to say, look, I want to do this for other people besides myself? It was just like a realization. I'm 22 at the time. I'm young. Mm-hmm. I got enough time to just try. Right. Gotcha. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. I love that. So it's like, at least I'm going to try this. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I've got my whole life to keep trying. Yeah. Try something else, you know? That's dope. That's really dope. Yeah, and it worked out in my favor. Because here's the thing, you know, a lot of people don't succeed because they don't try, right? I heard a quote one time and it said, most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail because they aim too low and hit.
that complacency, right? That being being
settling for what's expected.
That's right, absolutely. Now I know you were talking about that guy, the 40-year-old guy that you had to tell him to go take a shower and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like you in a way, and what I mean in that is I'm a little bit older than you, right? A little bit, right?
Way older.
A little bit.
Okay.
But I've always been in leadership roles too.
Yeah.
Like all the way from with my friends when I was in middle school, and shift manager at a pizza shop when I was 16, like when I wasn't supposed to.
Me too.
Oh, for real? That's crazy. Up to what it is that I do now, because I put everything in. I want, when my name's attached to something, I want to be the upper echelon. Like I want my name to be attached to greatness. I want everything that I touch and people to have an expectation when it comes to me, like reputation, like perception, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that I dealt with on the other end, being young and always being in leadership roles, because I've had situations where I had to tell people 30 and 40 years older than me to go the right way.
Yeah.
Was that when I was younger, a lot of the times they weren't receptive to that.
No, because you're younger than them. It's an ego thing.
Right. Yeah. Do you deal with any of that?
All the time.
How do you deal with it?
Okay. Me being young, I progressed fast.
Mm-hmm.
They had the same opportunities, but that drive wasn't in them.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're having to answer to a guy that's half your age. That messes with a lot of people's ego and pride.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But they get on board really quick.
Okay.
Because like you said, that positive energy it's a good toxic.
Right. So what you're saying is that even when they come to you with the negative, you come with positivity.
Every time.
Okay, beautiful.
Don't come to me with the negative if you don't have a plan to make it better.
Right. Because of the fact that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. That's right. Absolutely. What are some of the other struggles that you have seen, like as far as your elevation and growth?
Oh man, the process.
Okay.
The process. You start as you come in. Like you said, being a barber, man, picking your barber, it's a serious thing. Man.
Yes, sir.
It's a serious thing.
And you mess up on that first one, it's a wrap.
Exactly. And not even just that. It's hard getting people to trust your abilities without you having much work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So me starting off, we had borders on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody even knew this was a barber shop.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't cutting hair. There would be times where I would go a week and a half, 2 weeks without cutting one head.
Wow.
Unless Sharif was like, shout out Reef, unless he was like, hey, I got this client, man, I don't feel like cutting him, you want him? And I locked that person in.
Right.
Every opportunity I got, I wanted it to be, let me make this the best haircut I've ever done in my entire life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it starts from there. Then it goes to, okay, let me upgrade my clippers. Then it goes to more people are starting to come in, you know what I'm saying? And then it builds. But that process wasn't pretty, man. It wasn't pretty. I've been cutting hair a year and a half. I've been in this shop for about a year now, and I'm just now getting to a position where I'm in the suite. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to depend on walk-ins. I don't have to depend on passing out cards or stuff like that. People are now starting to come to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that process was the hardest part, because no matter how positive you are, when you're not getting the results that you know you should be getting or you feel you should be getting, it kind of puts you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it takes your mindset in other places, like, man, I could be doing this instead of sitting here all day.
Right.
But with that mindset of elevation, instead of me sitting in here all day, I was going out, passing out cards.
Right.
At first it was, hey, you got a barber? Then it turned to, hey, how you doing? I'm Faded by Azim. I'm a barber. I'm currently transitioning out of the Army. Here's my business card.
Right.
You don't have to book with me. All I ask is that you check me out.
Let me ask you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because with those, it's basically the same thing, but it's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel are the differences between those two scenarios? Why do you feel like one is more impactful than the other, and why?
Yes. Hey, you got a barber? That's aggressive. Some people are gonna be like, whoa, are you saying I need a barber? Mm-hmm. Who are you to tell me that my hair is messed up? Maybe I like it like this, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you kinda gotta ease it in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And in the form of, hey, I'm not pressing you out or anything. I'm just, hey, this is an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Here's
mm-hmm.
my business card. Just check me out.
Right.
It's all about the approach.
Right. And it's crazy because we were talking earlier. We were talking about perception,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
perception is reality, right?
It is.
Basically, that's the same type of scenario because of the fact that they're the same communication. Like, I
Yeah.
want your business,
Yeah.
right? But the perception and how they take it is something that we got to take into consideration,
Exactly.
right? Is there anybody that you kind of like shadow or mimic or look to for guidance or anything like that? And if you do, what is some of the things that you get from them?
All the time.
Okay.
Everybody.
I love it.
Everybody. I teach a lot of people, but in order for me to be a teacher, I have to be a student first.
That's right.
And I remain a student. I'll go out there and I'll just watch them cut. I don't mimic anything that they do, but I'll see, like, okay, right there around the parietal ridge, he's getting that line out, and that's something that I struggle with. The parietal ridge is this area.
Yeah, I was about to ask, but
yeah, it's that area at the
Okay.
top up. If I struggle at getting that, and I know that OG over there is great at getting that out, I'm gonna see how you do it. I'm gonna try it, and then I'm gonna add that to my fading technique.
Yeah.
Straight hair. I'll go out there, boom. If I see a cut on Instagram that I like, I'm gonna hit the dude up like, hey bro, quick question. How'd you achieve this? Humility.
Yeah.
I live by it.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, but I'm trying every day to chase perfection, and it's something that I'll never reach. So I'll like you said earlier, I'll never fail.
Yeah. Yeah, because we talked about it earlier and we were saying the biggest competition is yourself. Because
Exactly.
when your competition is yourself, you always losing,
Yeah.
but you also always winning,
Exactly.
right? And there's always something to chase,
Yeah.
right? So, do you have anything that's been on your mind that you wanted to get it? Because I know every time I come in here, you got somebody in here who's kind of shadowing you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you could tell the people, like, in regards to just what's caused you to get where it is that you are now, and that is going to give you the things that you always wanted and that you do want now?
Yeah. Biggest thing is trust the process. It's not always going to be pretty, but you know what I'm saying? If you never failed, how can you succeed? If you've never gone through trial and error, how will you know when you've got it? You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. Everybody has a testimony, and your testimony is what's going to help the next man up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just trust the process. Put God first, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost. And just don't give up. The day that you give up is the day that you die inside, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not growing, then you what?
Then you dying.
Exactly. And I refuse to die today.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, when you went from the military, right? Because I know that, especially, how we grew up. A lot of the times people look to that for stability.
Yeah.
When you went away from that, was it scary at all? Was it, to have that and then to leave it because it's what you knew was like, and then with the barber, this is a 2-part question. And then with the barbering thing, is it something that you just fell on, or because you're not an employee, so to speak, you're an entrepreneur, really.
Yeah.
Right. You make your own hours.
Yeah.
Right?
This is my business.
You build your clientele,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the 2-part question is, that transition, was that something that was scary for you? And then the second thing is, with the barbering thing, were you looking to be an entrepreneur, or were you just looking something to pass the time?
I'll say it was not scary. It was by design.
Okay.
Because it worked out perfectly.
Okay.
So August 29th is when they told me that they were going to medically retire me. It mainly wasn't scary because I'm retired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to cut hair ever. I don't have to ever work again, and bills are paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The military is going to pay me for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But August 29th, that was when they told me that they were medically retiring me. That is the day I started cutting hair. 2 months later, I started cutting hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The military stopped messing with me. So from October of 2020 to January 26th, I was still in, but I had all that time to build my clientele up while I was still in. So now that I'm out, I'm already running. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say it was by design. I felt like this is my purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was just the barbering, or like the working for yourself, or what do you think it is? When you say it was by design, you think just falling into the place where you are specifically? Is it something like where you always wanted to work for yourself, or is it something like You know, because I know you told me that your dad was a barber too,
Still is.
right? And your grandfather too.
Yep, master barber.
Okay. So with that said, was it always barbering that's been in the back of your head, or you just knew it was something different, or it just kind of happened?
It really just happened. Being in the military, you're stripped of your power
Okay.
over yourself. And I've always felt like I was never meant to be a worker. I've always been meant to be a boss. I've always been in leadership positions, but still there was a cap to my, like I had a limit being in the military. I can only rank up this far in this amount of time.
Yeah.
So my future was in their hands.
Yeah.
Me being out, the shackles are gone. It's like now, whoa, what do I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Barbering just happened to be the first thing that fell into my lap. You know, I've been cutting my own hair. Shoot, let me try to cut other people's hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it just worked out in my favor.
Yeah.
Been going up ever since.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every day that I wake up, you know, I know the reason why I do things, right? My why, like in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say that yours is?
Oh man, my family, my kids, grandkids.
Okay.
I think generations ahead.
Okay.
And that's why I wake up and it pushes me. Today I gotta give 110%.
Gotcha.
I gotta give 110% more than I did yesterday.
Right. And where does that come from?
Oh man, inside of me. I feel like some people have it and some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's meant to be a boss. If everybody's a boss, then nobody's a worker.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
that's what I mean by it's by design. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like faith in God,
Mm-hmm.
He guides me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm a firm believer that, you know, same thing, and nothing happens by chance.
Nope.
You know,
Nothing's a coincidence.
you know, God gives us free will,
Mhm.
right? But we gotta, you know, we gotta do the work too.
Yeah.
You know, He got us, but we gotta do the work too.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about before, as far as having a plan,
Mhm.
right? And how, you know, a man who can read has no advantage over the man who cannot read if he does not read, right?
Facts.
So not only having the plan or the ability, but also implementing it,
Yeah.
right? So what is your plan moving forward? Have you mapped that out?
Yeah. I've mapped out as far as I can. You
Okay.
know? But not move until God tells me to move.
Got you.
Right now I'm building up my clientele. I'm learning the ground from I was in here. I'm an intern right now, but now I manage the shop. I
Okay.
started off as just a random barber,
Right.
the newest rookie barber.
Right.
From there, I worked my way up to not a rookie barber. Now I'm the manager. I'm in the suite. I'm overseeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning the business from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning what type of barbers I want in my shop.
Right.
The conversation that I have with my clients, the type of barber that I am is the type of barber that I will have in my shops.
Okay.
So I'm learning all those things. Get my L's, then I'm going back to school for my cosmetology license, become a master barber. Once I become a master barber, I'll be 26 when I become a master barber.
Okay.
At that point, I'm opening up a school. From that school, I'm gonna have a barbershop attached to it. You know, I can't get too in detail. Somebody might steal my little thing. But
Man, you got the hook. That's dope, man.
Man,
You- like some people say I got a plan, but you really have a plan.
have to.
Yeah.
Have to. They say that knowledge is power. It's not.
Mhm.
Everybody can have knowledge, but if you do nothing with it, you know.
100% fact.
Like I said earlier, it's like having a car with no engine expecting to get to a destination. You won't go anywhere.
Right.
You got to imply that knowledge.
Right,
You
and
got
that's
to
just-
put that to work.
That's a fact. And you can, like we said earlier as well, you can have the map.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can have the plan. You can see how to get there, but
Yeah.
if you don't do the work and don't put your feet on the ground, then you're never going to get there.
Facts.
Right? So we do here at Build It All, it's an open forum, right?
Yeah.
So with that said, you know, you have just as much right as I do here.
That's
I'm
what I was
not
waiting
anybody,
for.
I ain't nobody special, you know what I'm saying?
You are.
We all special,
Yeah.
right? So with that said, you know, is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Yeah. Can you explain to me this Build It All? What's the meaning behind it? Where did it originate?
So where it originated was this, right? I worked jobs over the course of my life just like everybody else,
Yeah.
right? I've only done two things as an adult though, right? I worked for a collections company for about 6 or 7 years, and I was an operations manager for 5 of those years. Okay, I did good there, but I got to, and I was making decent money too.
Mm-hmm.
People cussing me out and everything, but I was making decent money.
Yeah.
But I got to a point where it was like, I'm not happy, man. You know what I'm saying? So I left.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the position that I have now. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I work in sales, like face-to-face sales, and I love it. The reason that I love it is because of the fact that it's a challenge, you know, and I need something to push me.
Yeah.
Like I get bored real quick, you know what I'm saying? So I do well at that too, but at this point, that like the sales thing has really like opened my mind up. And what I found out, because I mean, not to go too much into it, but I make more money than I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
Right? But guess what? I'm still the same person I've always been.
Facts.
Right? So what it made me think about when I thought about all of that, when having multiple positions over the course of my life as a whole, and I've always been the same person, what I realized is that nobody's ever going to truly pay you what your value is.
Facts.
Right? Because if I'm the same person, that means that I was worth this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? So what Build It All, the way that came about was, you know, funny thing. The very first podcast, the last week's episode was X, and he's the one who helped me to open my mind. And that was very, very, it moved me. Because of the fact that, you know, it's kind of like with Spider-Man when they say with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I feel that my ability to communicate is strong. And I feel like that's a God-given gift. And what I want to do is the same way that I had those epiphanies that helped me to elevate to the levels that I am now and doing the things that I want to do. And, you know, I'm still pushing for freedom. I want to provide that for everybody else. Another thing for Build It All is there's too much divisiveness in this world.
Explain that.
What I mean in that is that everything is a category. Black, white, gay, straight, Republican, you know, Democrat.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that are out there that divide us. When in reality, we're more alike than anything.
Yeah.
Right? And the crazy thing is that goes back to the art of war, like divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're stronger together. So build it all means to literally build it all, like build everybody up in any aspect that they need, but do it by sharing best practices.
Yeah.
Because it actually takes less energy to find out how we're alike than how we're different. Right?
Yeah. So
at the end of the day, if you give me something that I didn't have, I'm stronger.
Yeah.
Remember when I told you earlier today, just on this podcast here, I said that when you came to me and you were like, hey man, you know, what do you think about this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you give me knowledge all the time. That does something for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like energy, it runs in cycles.
Yeah.
So my hope in reference to doing this is to help everybody to be the best version of themselves. Of course, everybody's not gonna come on the podcast, right? But I'm not specifically talking to one type of demographic of people in regards to this. I want to talk to everybody because everybody has a story, and I want everybody to be able to relate. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing this. I want to do my part in the world to make it better, bro. And I know that sounds cheesy and all of that, but that's really what I want to do. That's what Build It All is for, and doing it together. Like this is not my podcast. This is our podcast. This is like this is for everybody, you know, especially, you know, and this is not to single out our community or anything like that. But I know for a fact, if I walk through the mall right now, right, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but if I walk through the mall right now and I see somebody that looks like me, they see me, they sizing me up like an enemy. Yeah. But if they see somebody else of a different race or that's not similar to them at all, they don't see them as a threat. I don't like that. Yeah. Because think about this. If we have as we have, we built together. Yeah. Build it up. We built together, right? If we have a conversation and both of us grow from that conversation, that's good. But if you're my enemy, because I'm trying to find out what's different about you, then that building doesn't happen. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I'm here for, man. Cause I'm at the end of the day, I'm just a man. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I have a voice, and I feel like not only me, but everybody has a voice, just like you have a voice, and that's why we're talking today. Like X said something last podcast. It was very, very like it was deep. It was simple, but it was deep. He said, "I'm not special. Matter of fact, I am special, but you're special too." And then I said, exactly. So who's to say that your special is any better than mine, and vice versa? No. Stop arguing about who's better. Stop. It don't matter. That's wasted energy. I'm special and you're special.
Yeah.
All right. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I can be right, and you can be right.
Facts.
We both can be right. Like, I'm not worried about wrong anymore. Like, I've spent too much time dealing with wrong. I only want to deal with right. You feel me?
Facts.
And you know, at the end of the day, you can't control somebody else. So why focus the energy there? You can only control yourself.
Facts.
You know, to kind of go back to that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Control what you can't control. Be proactive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, I had this white guy. He told me, you know, you'll make it a lot farther in life when you realize that nothing means nothing. And I didn't get it at first, but nothing literally means nothing. We put our energy and we make things mean what we want it to mean. So if, like you said, you're right and my right, nothing means nothing. I could be like, he's trying to say I'm wrong and my point's invalid. Or I can accept it for what it is and just focus on mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Definitely. So it's like nothing means nothing. Life is what you make it. And why make it negative when you can make it positive?
And that's the crazy thing, because I remember there was a lady that I used to work for. She was my manager at the time. Shout out Katrina. But
my mom's name.
Oh, for real? But she would say every morning when she would give the morning meeting, she would say, "Make it a great day." She wouldn't say have a good day. She would say make it a great day. And what she was doing was giving us a little bit of, you know, a nugget of positivity, man. So speaking of that, that's what Build It All. That's what I want to do, is provide that positivity, man. And you know, when we go under the surface level and we start to like really like understand us from a human like layer, we a lot alike, man.
Yeah.
We a lot alike, bro.
And I'll say this. Listen, this is not fake. You know what I'm saying? Legit, this is who you are as a person. From us going to the gym, from the conversations that we have, and that's why I gravitate towards you, because you really with this.
Absolutely,
and
man.
you're passionate about it.
See, but I'm gonna tell you, that's the thing. It goes full circle because of the fact that energy is expensive. You can't waste it on everything or everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason that I give that energy is because you receive it. And not only do you receive it, you implement it.
Definitely.
So I'm good. Because I ain't waste nothing.
Yeah.
That's like at my job, and it pissed him off a little bit. I was trying to piss him off a little bit, right? But he was like, "I don't want to waste your time," like kind of trying to dismiss me, because I do sales. I don't want to waste your time. I said, "Sir, let me ask you something. You retired?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "What'd you do?" He was like, "I was a teacher." I said, "Okay, great. Thank you for your service." Like, because I mean, teachers have a very, very important job. I said, "But let me ask you something. You did that for 30-something years. When you were at your job, did you ever feel like you were wasting your time?" No, because it was your job. So I'm not even going to feed into that negative energy. I'm having a good day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bring your weather with you.
Facts.
You know? So is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Because I done got nosy. You feel me? So
yeah. So let me get a little nosy.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
I ain't say that for you to. No, I'm like.
Where did this come from? Like this mindset that you have? Like, were you born? Do you feel that you was born with this, or was it something that you grew into? Like, what helped you get to where you're at today? What made you the person that you are?
Life is, you know, our biggest teacher. You know, trial by fire is a real thing. You feel me?
Yeah.
But for real, just like you, my mother was a single parent. You know, and my mom worked hard, bro. Like 2 and 3 jobs. I was the oldest of 3 kids, the only boy. So, and my mom and my stepfather split when I was 9. So right there, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah.
You know, so just that, man, and just seeing that drive, that fire. And I don't even know if my mom knew how significant it was. She was just making things happen.
Yeah.
So it started off, I always wanted to make her proud.
Hmm.
I don't remember, like my mom, you know, we used to get disciplined back in the day. We gonna call it discipline back in the day.
Abuse.
But I don't remember, it's stupid, but I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
But I do remember when my mom used to say, Rick, I'm disappointed in you because I know you know better. I know I raised you better than that. That stuff is what stuck with me, you know. So, and then, you know, of course, you go through things and then you just find out better ways, man. Yeah. You find out better ways, and that, you know, towards that path of just kind of enlightenment, you know, towards elevation. Like when you see, like the old adage goes, once your brain expands, once your mind expands, it can't contract. So I'm always trying to grow. And now it's gotten to the point where I want to, and I've always had that too. I'm naturally like somebody who wants to inspire and motivate people. You know what I'm saying? So now it's went to that next level where it's like, look, I'm not satisfied unless I'm helping the next man. Mm-hmm. And now what I'm doing is I'm using you and everybody else that come up here to help me to help the next man. You know? What's up. And the cool thing is that here on YouTube, we get to do it for free. Yeah. You know, we get to, this is expensive heat. Facts. And we get it for free. You know, so don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Yeah. You know, because like I said about growth, I just started doing this. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm always trying to get better. Elevation, that's what you say? Elevation. Yeah. 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 So, you know, so let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. You said you got a plan. Yeah. How confident are you in that plan?
100%.
100%?
Yes.
Why are you so confident?
Because my life is what I make it. With God's help. Mm-hmm. With God in the driver's seat and me in the passenger seat. I know that all things are possible. You know what I'm saying? I have no limits. The sky is not the limit. When I get there, am I supposed to stop or am I supposed to keep going?
The sky is not the limit, it's only the view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to see planets that didn't exist. You know? With that mindset, and failure's not an option. I will not allow myself to fail. Mm-hmm. Only way I will fail and not fulfill what I say I'm going to do is, Lord forbid, I leave this earth. Mm-hmm. If I still can breathe, I'm going to achieve every goal that I set out. Mm-hmm. I always have.
Now, keep in mind, you know, not to combat that at all, but failure is a part of growth.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
But you have not failed until you quit.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And so, as long as I'm learning, like, that's not truly a failure. Right? It's growth. Yeah. It's how you get better. Because you can't get better from the things you're already doing well.
Exactly.
Right? You don't change those. You find those areas of opportunity, and that's what you move. Mm-hmm. Right? So I do want to ask you, because we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. You know, of course, I you know, you in my circle. So with that said, you know we're going to be doing this again. Facts. But this right here, I want you to go ahead and, you know, if you have any closing things that you want to talk to the people about and share with them, to kind of just, you know, to have them sit on that and ponder and let it resonate. What would that thing be?
Okay. Chase your dreams. All right. If you have a goal, stick to it. Create a plan to achieve it. And just know that life is what you make it. Trust the process. It's going to be tough. But nothing in life that is given to you easy is worth having for real. You know what I'm saying? You respect you respect those grinds, getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just stay true to yourself, trust the process, put God first, and elevate in all aspects of life. If you're not growing, you're dying. All right? Don't say you're going to do something and not do it. Words without action is like having a car with no engine expecting to get to your destination. That car will never start. You will never go anywhere. So stay true to yourself, elevate in all aspects of life, and bring the next man up. Don't focus on tearing down nobody. Build everybody up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to make you go higher and higher and higher, and never settle for what's expected.
That's right.
The sky is not your limit. You have no limits. you can get as far as you allow yourself to get.
That's what's up, man.
For sure.
You said build them up, and we're gonna build it all.
Yes, sir.
Right? I heard this, and I'm gonna go ahead and end in this. Speaking of what you just said, just to piggyback off of it, I heard a quote that stuck with me. It said, "Never look down on anyone unless you're helping them up."
Exactly. And I'm gonna add to that.
Mm-hmm.
Only look back to see how far you've come.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and end it right here, man. Unfortunately, but like I said, every week we coming back to you with something new. This is the Build It All podcast. We checked in. Now we're gonna go ahead and check out. But make sure y'all like, subscribe. Another thing too, my bad. Follow him _ is
Faded by Zim. Z-I-M.
Faded by
_
Zim.
Faded by Zim. Check me out.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Build it all.
Peace.
One love.